Hello everybody, Crow here, and what I wanted to start out with is pickups videos, because that's what I normally wanted to start these videos out with, but I actually have no pickups, so we'll just skip that. I didn't get anything the past week, been kind of busy, really haven't been out to stores and such, so you know how it goes. But I do want to jump into a section which I meant to add in last time, but I completely forgot about, and that's games that I've been playing. And I don't know why I just completely forgot about it last time, but I've been actually playing only just about 2 games since one on the PS3. I've been playing, well, actually both of them are on the PS3. When I finished Batman Arkham Asylum, I wanted to move on to one of the many other PS3 games that I hadn't played yet. And on New Year's Eve, I wound up playing Catherine for a long time. It was a pretty entertaining game. My friends were just kind of huddled around watching me try and play it. I got up to a certain point, and I'd been playing it for like 6 hours or something like that. Some ridiculous amount of time New Year's Eve, people just watching me. And I was just getting so, the puzzles were getting harder. And I was just kind of losing it. I really couldn't concentrate anymore at this point. I was okay, I think I have to stop at this point and put in something different. But then when I got home, I've been playing the first Uncharted. Because I have all 3 Uncharted games on the PS3, but I hadn't played any of them yet. So I just started playing the first Uncharted. Played it for maybe, I don't know how many hours. I'm on the 5th chapter. Got into a shootout that I lost and decided to stop at that point. And I really hadn't played any games in a couple days, except for I have been playing a game. I'm not going to mention what it is because it's going to be for the next review. That review is actually going to cover the same game on 2 different systems. So I was thinking of it, just one game, one system per review. But in cases like where there's the same game on 2 different systems and they're practically the same, it's almost ridiculous not to include them together in the same review, especially when it's a retro review as such. So yeah, that's basically what I've been playing. A lot of my time has been spent working on the bathroom. Sometime last year, when we moved in, tiles started falling off the shower stall, so I just stopped using the shower. That was my solution. But, we got other projects to do, and started just tearing off all the tiles. Just got all the tiles off in the bathroom yesterday. So I am actually going to have to tear down one of the walls to redo some of the pipes because this isn't video game related. I don't know why I'm talking about this, but the shower head is not a standard shower head. I can't replace the shower head with anything that's in stores now because it's just a really weird shower head design and nothing will fit. So I have to replace those pipes. So yeah, that's why I haven't been playing that many games. But well, yeah, and we'll just move on to the next section, which is not necessarily questions. Well, yeah, the first one, I'm going to cover 2 things. The first thing is that JasonRelaxation actually commented in one of my videos, why don't you do a video for your collecting goals in 2012? And I know a lot of people have been doing their, this is what I, plan to collect in 2012. And I remember people were doing that last year as well. The thing is, though, I don't have collecting goals. Basically, I've met the basic collecting goals that I had way back when, and that was to collect for like every system that I've ever wanted growing up, and I've done that and then some. Like when I never had a Genesis, I borrowed a Genesis, I got a Genesis, and then I even took it a step further. I have every single model of Genesis there was. You got the JVCXI, and whatnot. I got my Neo Geo AES. I've always wanted one of those. Got that. Got the Turbo Duo. And so on and so forth. In fact, I'm just looking at all those systems right there right now. So I really have no goals. I still collect. But for me, it's just going out, spur of the moment, and finding stuff. There are other things that I'd like to collect, and I just occasionally look at them on eBay to see if there's any good deals for them. But no, they're so expensive that you really can't just buy them spur of the moment. One of those things happens to be Castlevania Rondo of Blood on the Turbo Duo. I'd like to have that game. But, I look online, it's $100+, and I think, no, not today, that kind of thing. But I have no, definitive date as to when I want to, get that game. I want to get it one day, but I'm not going to say, oh, I have to get this game by December 31st, 2012, and set that as a goal. I don't like doing that. In fact, I don't really do New Year's resolutions at all. In fact, the only resolution I have is to replace all the wall calendars with the next year by the end of January. So yeah, here's that. I'm also going to cover one other thing. There's a lot of videos out there about the PS Vita and the launch lineup. And I kind of just wanted to go over why I want a PS Vita over a 3DS. And to start the story, I want to go way back to when the 3DS was announced at E3. I can't remember which. It was like 2 years ago, E3. Like 2010 E3, they're showing off the 3DS. And I'm looking at that like, wow, that looks really cool. And I was really, really hyped for it. And then somewhere down the line, Sony announced the PS Vita, which is a really stupid name, but it looked really cool. It was like the PSP, they didn't change much. Just like the 3DS didn't change much from the DS, aside from, 3D graphics, slightly different screen, adding a analog pad. And, and so, yeah. Just trying to catch my thought here because I'm talking way faster than I can think. So where was I? Oh, yes. So PS Vita looks really cool. Now I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. Do I really want to get a 3DS and a Vita? And I said, you know what? I'm just going to wait and see what happens. So I wait and see. You know what? The Vita has no launch date. 3DS is coming out it was around April last year. So very slyly, I asked my wife if she was interested in the 3DS, and she was like, yeah, kind of. So, her birthday fell around that day. So I bought her the 3DS for her birthday with the intentions that I would actually get a chance to, get hands-on with the 3DS without actually buying one for myself. And I got it, and I played with it a little bit when she wasn't using it. And I thought it was kind of cool. There were a whole bunch of things I didn't like the camera. The camera was really, really grainy. They could have used better cameras in there. Not that big of a deal, but, the AR stuff was pretty cool. The 3D stuff was kind of impressive and kind of not impressive. No game that I play. I know that there's Super Mario Land 3D, and I heard that really takes advantage of the 3D. But no game I played on the 3DS. If you could slide it to 2D mode and still play the game as normal, then there's really not really a need for the 3D, is there? I mean, the 3D is just a gimmick if you could still play the game in 2D. That's the way I see it. And, his cat sneezed. And, you have to, if you put it in 2D, then your viewing angle's a lot better. And you put it in 3D, it drains the battery a little bit more, all this other stuff. But the big thing was, there was really no games out at the time that I was interested in. So, there was Pilot Wings. That was it. In fact, I bought Pilot Wings to play on my wife's 3DS, and it was the worst Pilot Wings I've ever played. It was kind of not, the first Pilot Wings on the Super Nintendo was my favorite Pilot Wings. And they tried to put some realism into the Super Nintendo, but for this 3DS Pilot Wings, it plays more like a gimmicky game, than anything else. You're flying around an island and whatnot. And hey, the 3D was kind of cool, but you know what, I could do without it as well. So I figure, you know what, I'm gonna wait till there's really good games on the. At this point, I was really undecided on the Vita too. I was gonna wait till there are some really must-have games on the 3DS before I get one. And I figure, you know what, if the Vita doesn't come out by Christmas, at which point we didn't know, if the Vita comes out before Christmas, I want a Vita for Christmas. But if the 3DS has some really good games that I want, maybe I'll get that for my birthday or Christmas or something like that. That was my original plan. And then Super Mario Kart 7 was announced, was going to be released, and Super Mario 3D Land. That would have been enough for me to get a 3DS. However, Nintendo messed it up for me. They announced that secondary analog pad. which really bothers me because even though none of the games I want would really use it, it just seems like a major mess up to me. Like they're saying, oh, we forgot to add this to this console. Let's just have this big, giant, bulky, ugly add-on to add it on. And, there's going to be at least one game that needs it, I think. I'm not entirely sure if the game needs it. I think it's a Monster Hunter game. And then it's going to be sold, exclusively through GameStop. It's going to be an extra $20. So, you know what? That got me thinking, you know what? I am not buying the 3D. I'm not buying this version of the 3DS that's out now. I'm going to wait and see what kind of revision they're going to do to it. You know what? Because even if they don't add in the second circle pad to the new revision of the 3DS, that is inevitable because they always do it. They've done it since the Game Boy. Then I'm just going to wait. Wait another year, see what happens. Who knows what they're going to show off at E3. Maybe they're going to show off a version of the 3DS with another circle pad. But in the meantime, the Vita has got a great, it's already out in Japan, but in the US, it's got a great launch lineup. And there are like 4 must-have games. And that's why I asked for a Vita for Christmas. I'm like, you know what, give me the Vita for Christmas. I don't care if it's coming out in February. I'm going to get way more use out of the games that are coming out in the Vita than the 3DS at the moment. So there are 4 games that are like must-have. I'm going to get these 4 games when the Vita is released. And that is the one that really opened my eyes to the Vita was Hot Shots Golf World Invitational. I've been a big fan of the Hot Shots Golf games since the first one on the PlayStation. I've had I've had the 2 Hot Shots Golf games for the PlayStation, and then when they came out on the PS2, that's when they got way better. Hot Shots Golf 3 and Hot Shots Golf 4, and then you got the PSP versions, which are the best versions of Hot Shots Golf because of the character customization and such. And then, there's the version on the PS3, which is okay, but it was kind of a step backwards for me, in terms of what you could do from the PSP version. And the PS Vita version is coming out, a new portable version of Hot Shots Golf, and that gets me hyped up. But there are 3 other games that are must-get for me. The other one is Wipeout 2048. Wipeout. The very first Wipeout game was the game I bought with my PlayStation, and that was the game that made my jaw drop. And I'm like, this game is so awesome. The PS1 rules. Of course, at the time, it was just the PlayStation. So I'm like, this rules. I don't know why anybody would want this over Nintendo 64, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, I love the Wipeout series. I've had every single Wipeout game. Kind of fell from grace for me for a while once it came out on PS2. Got it on the PSP. Which one was that? Wipeout Fusion, I think? Yeah, Wipeout Fusion. Awesome game. I got Wipeout Pulse, awesome game. And then I kind of stopped playing it for a while, but then the PS3 outage happened. And one of my free games I got was Wipeout HD plus Fury. And that game, I can't believe I did not get that game when it came out. But at least I got it for free. That game is so amazing. So I'm hyped for Wipeout 2048. Another game, Luminous Electronics Symphony. I think it's Electronic Symphony. But yeah, Luminous was the game I bought with the PSP when it came out. Loved it. I played that game for hours and hours and hours. It was just hypnotizing puzzle action. And, got to get that with the PS Vita as well. And then finally, the last game I got to get is Touch My Katamari. Katamari, another great series of games. Blew my mind when it came out originally. Of course, this series is pretty much the same game over and over and over with little different tweaks and such. But, man, I still love the series, and I'm going to get Touch My Katamari when that comes out. So, yeah, that's the story of why I would right now prefer a Vita over a 3DS. Down the line, who knows what's going to happen with a 3DS? Are they going to add another circle pad to the original design? Or what are they going to do with that? I just have to wait and see what they're doing with the 3DS. So, yeah, and I honestly think that the 3DS and Vita might be the very last traditional in a sense, handheld consoles, as in ones that actually take cartridges. Because who knows, in 5 years, and even Sony's trying to gotten away with media, physical media to put in your system with the PSP Go. Who knows? In 5 years, people will probably be ready to, with the, you have the iPhone and Android, where you just download all the games. Maybe that's where we're going to. So this might actually be the last set of handhelds that actually take physical media, and for that, I gotta get at least one of them. I really don't think there'll be another PlayStation Portable that takes physical media. I really don't. So we'll see what happens. And that pretty much covers it. So last thing I want to cover is shout-outs. Person I'm shouting out was actually, I was watching one of his videos when I had the inspiration to change my format for pickups to this show instead. And that is Steve Benway. Now, Steve Benway has over 6,000 subscribers. A lot of people know Steve Benway. He's from the UK. He does primarily gameplay videos, but not, he just plays the game to show you what it looks like, basically, as he says in the intro to all those videos. He's very funny commentary at times, very funny gameplay at times, because half the time he doesn't know what he's doing. So not an insult or anything. It's just funny. When I did my Crow Play series, and I might do those in the future again. Who knows? I don't have any plans to do that. But just pop in the game and play. Sometimes you don't know what you're doing. I mean, it's just funny to watch sometimes. But he does one of those almost every weekday, because I know sometimes he doesn't do one. So, I don't expect one every day, but I see one every day and I have to watch it. It's good fun. He also does Friday Talkies, which was what I was watching when I thought about changing the format a little bit of what I do. And it's just, sometimes it's, 15 minutes, sometimes it's half an hour of him talking about stuff that's going on. And that's kind of, what I was thinking. It's like, I want to just sit in front of the camera and talk. So that's what I'm doing, and that's what he does in the Friday Talkies. I know a couple other people that do it as well, but I just happened to be watching his video when I thought of this. And you know what? That's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. Maybe do another one of these next week. Maybe not. That's why it's sometimes weekly. Whenever I have time on the weekend, I will do it. So yes, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Wish they hadn't led us down the giant spider path if they couldn't deliver one.
I think they were saying that a giant spider would be nice, but as an alternative, please consider our little movie.
Yeah.
Music budget ran out.